So now I'm gonna put the FITC control on. Put it on here like this, move the arm back. I'm gonna click, there's next tube already. So then I'm gonna click here and it's gonna open up a whole world of things that we can change. I'm gonna delete this and put FITC control. Again, you can be as creative as you like. And I'm gonna click acquire, okay? And I'm gonna look over here and then we can see that the compensation is pretty close. As you can see, the two populations are on the same line with each other. However, I'm gonna go over to here, and here is the compensation tab. We have to click enable. So since I've started recording, I have to stop acquiring, go back up here, click enable compensation. That is so important. I'm gonna click acquire, and then I'm gonna move back over to here. And then I'm gonna move the compensation while the video is recording. And then as we can see, I'm increasing the compensation. I'm gonna move back and we can see that I moved the compensation up. The population has gone. So I'm gonna lower the compensation again. Oh, there's our population. So I'm going to increase the voltage or the compensation just a little bit, just so that we get a nice population right there. It's still looks a smidge over comped, so I'm going to go back over to here and lower it just a little bit more, and then I'm going to go over to here and I'm going to click record. I'm going to click cancel because I didn't hit next tube, so I'm going to click next tube. It goes up. I'm going to click acquire, go back over to here, hit FITC control. I already know that my settings are correct. I'll just double check, and then I'll go back over here and hit record, and it's going to record a file of 10,000 events. So then our sample looks there. It looks great. Everything is compensated properly. So now I'm going to move on to the next control. So I'm going to click next tube. I'm going to go over to here, and I'm going to put PE control. Right there, okay? And then I'm gonna take the sample off and then get the PE control. I'm gonna mix it up. There. I'm gonna click acquire. And I'm gonna move over to here and take a look. As you can see, the PE positive population is leaning towards the right just a bit. So I will go over to this window, choose the FITC minus PE and adjust slowly. And as we can see, I did not save the experiment, so the compensation setting did not hold. So I have to stop acquiring, go back up here, click enable, and then go over to here to the experiment and click save. Save. Okay. So I will click acquire. Again, we have events flowing, and then here the compensation is saved. So watch when we raise the compensation. I'm going to raise it up ever so much, and as you can see, the population is going to go away. Then it's if I reduce it, it's going to go back. So I'm just going to go back here and adjust it accordingly till it looks great. That looks wonderful. So I'll go to the file, click record. Another file has acquired, and then I'm going to take a look. That looks great. So then next, I'm going to click next tube, and then we're going to go to the sample. There. And then I'm going to mix the sample tube up. Put the sample tube on, and then I'll go over to here. Alright, okay, sample. So you can label samples any way you'd like. And I'm going to go over to here and I'm going to click acquire. I always like to take a look and see what the samples look like. before I acquire them, and everything looks wonderful. So now I'm going to click record and acquire a file. As we can see, the file is acquiring and it stopped. Therefore, we have our FITC and PE colors comped. We can now proceed to run the rest of our samples for these particular conditions until they are all ran. If you change conditions, you should run controls to make sure everything looks the same and you progress that way.